Appreciate you. Hey guys, hey guys, hey, welcome to the room. Welcome to the room, welcome to the room. Give me 1 second. All right. So for you guys that are new, welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Raquel May David, and I am your host today for Dispute Panda onboarding class. I wanted to go ahead and make sure that we are supporting you guys today. So for those of you that might be new, I am here to help you get started with Dispute Panda. I also have my wonderful co-host, David Sanchez. He's a little under the weather, so just know he will be in the chats, but he may not be talking that much. Hey, David. And of course, my amazing moderator, JM. Okay, cool. If you can't find it in the system, that's cool. You guys already probably removed it. So I'm so excited. We are going to get started. And the first thing that is currently in the chat that my co-host dropped was the Dispute Panda community. So for you guys that might be new, Dispute Panda is an AI 100% amazing tool that allows you to be a beast in these credit streets, right? And helps you whether you are doing it for yourself, your loved ones, or you want to do it as a business. We are going to dive in on how you can get started, what you need to know, how you can operate the systems effectively and efficiently. And I'm going to walk you through that. So if you guys are looking at my screen right now, you should be seeing the Dispute Panda community. Okay. So the community is where all of us like-minded Dispute Panda user, whether it's the free platform or it's the pro platform, get to come together, ask questions, and become a beast in these credit streets. I cannot do credit repair myself. Is there anyone that I can contact that would help do my credit repair? So as you can see, there are questions in here. We all like to support each other. I'm going to make sure to answer that question because I didn't see it. But JM is all over these Dispute Panda streets. So if you guys have questions on top of the fact that customer service is 24/7, you actually also have the amazing ability to go ahead and come into the community, ask your question, get supported accordingly. So I'm going to give everyone about 5 minutes to get in. For those of you guys that are new, I like to know who has the platform, who doesn't have the platform. So if you can drop a panda emoji to let me know that you have the platform, that will be amazing. If you do not have the ability to do so, that is completely fine. But I want to know who has the who has the Dispute Panda platform and who doesn't. Okay, Miss Clark, but we're going to get it together, honey. We're going to make sure that before you leave today, you will know how to leverage it, how to use it, how to dip and do in these credit streets. Okay, come through, Mecca, Vanquish, Miss Burke. Love this, love this. And for those of you guys that are by your computer and are able to go ahead and turn on your cameras, I appreciate you. For those of you that may not be able to, it is okay. If you are looking at this and you're like, hey, I'm probably at work or I'm driving home or whatever the case may be, we are going to drop the link to YouTube so you can watch the replay on YouTube if you have any questions, or if you missed something, you're like, hey, I'm not by my computer when she said this, you'll be able to catch it there. Thank you, Yolanda. I love when I see everyone that has it. Okay, so for those of you guys that that already have it, I'm gonna give everyone the walkthrough, but hang tight. I want to make sure that I'm able to walk the newbies through, actually give them the benefits to the platform, and then we are going to dive in. So the way that this process is going to work is I'm going to do a high overview on the Dispute Panda screen. We're going to actually talk about the benefits of the pro, what you get with the free Dispute Panda. We're going to talk pricing. We're going to actually set up a live account in real time, okay? And then we are going to load a client, and we're going to finish our first round of letters. So if you guys are using the system for yourself, I always say before you make anyone else a candidate of knowing how to use the system, I definitely would love for you guys to make sure that you put yourself through so that you can educate on how the documents come back, what it looks like for the client, what they should experience. I'm a big component of that. So if you guys do have clients and have not done your first round of attack, but it's by your computer, you will be able to go ahead and complete your first round with me on today. So does anyone have any questions before I get started on the main page? Robert, I see that you're off mute. Do you have a question? No? Hey, Miss Wallace, thank you so much for having your camera on. I love to see faces. Thank you so much. Let me see. All right. I think I can see Robert. I can't hear Robert. So I'm going to need to know how to port my clients over if I decide to go to Dispute Panda. So I'll actually be showing you exactly where you can go to do that, Miss Clark. So I love that. Great question. We're going to dive in a moment, and then I'm actually going to take you through the platform so you can see how to load your clients in. And I'm going to tell you how you can get support if you're having an issue with that. All right. Awesome sauce. All right, so we are at 8:07. Thank you so much for giving me your night tonight. We are going to get started with the main page. Can everyone see my Dispute Panda page right now? Give me a thumbs up. Give me an emoji. Hey, Mr. Nelson. Welcome to the room. Hey, Miss Monique. Okay, cool. I'm so glad you guys can see my screen. All right. So with Dispute Panda is actually an AI-powered credit repair software that even though you are disputing and it is a template that is utilized to send out the letters, no letter is the same. Okay, so every single letter that you pull is going to be, even though, and I'm going to show you guys the attacks and the guides and basically how you can learn how to repair credit on your own in the beginning. But this software allows you to have a dedicated client relationship housing system that also generates the letters for you. And I'm going to show you how to get the letters to go out for free so that this platform is free, the letter generation is free. And then if you choose to upgrade to the pro, I will go ahead and give you the features for that as well. I like to get to the nitty gritty of everything. And the first tab, of course, is pricing. So Dispute Panda is a pay as you go software. Traditionally, if you are using any of the other credit monitoring softwares that are out there, such as Identity IQ or Smart Credit, you do have to pay $17 per round of attack that you're doing for your client. So that is per month. Every time you're generating a letter, the goal is to generate a letter once every 35 to 40 days, right? It would cost you $17 for that particular round. And I'm going to show you what the rounds look like and the attacks look like in a moment. But you are able to go ahead and sign up for the standard Dispute Panda for free. You can load clients in there, unlimited clients you can load in. You are able to go ahead and download reports, save IDs, social security cards, and actually track the record, the letters that you have sent out for your clients. Now, if you want to upgrade to the pro version, the pro version is $1 for 14 days, and then you are billed $197 thereafter per month. With the pro, you also get to have the credit repair business blueprint, which is basically a credit repair program that you get to meet with Dominique Brown every Thursday. So you get an on-demand watch video process, and then you get to actually meet with Dominique Brown to go ahead and have one-on-ones on Thursday. So these onboarding calls for the standard package is every Monday and Wednesday, with Dominique Brown to go over pro and ask specific questions about how to be a credit repair specialist. You would actually do that on Thursday night if you sign up for the pro option. We're not going to be doing it again until December. They because of the holidays and stuff, we are not doing the CRBB class right now, but that is one of the perks that goes with the pro program. You also get the ability to have a secured client portal that you can communicate with your clients back and forth, as well as a host of really cool social media things that you're able to post on the platform. And I will show you guys one of those options. It won't be completely visible in ours, but I do have a screenshot so that once we get in, you'll have the ability to see and kind of get into it together, okay? When it comes to the pro. You can also get the pro yearly. You get 2 months for free if you sign up for the pro for the year. And it does come with automations. And again, once I get into the platform, I will show you guys that information in detail so you have accessibility to it. Now, these three tabs right here are pro specific. So I'm going to get into these tabs once we get into the platform. What I want to go ahead is jump into the training tab. What Dispute Panda did was when they created the actual platform, they also created a way for you to learn how to dispute your own credit if you are a consumer. If you're choosing to do this as a business, but you're getting your feet wet in it, we are giving you the actual blow-by-blow guide on how to dispute credit. So if you click on the training tab at the very top, it literally says free download. And it says use the attack guide to find all the preferred and most effective attacks available on the Dispute Panda platform. So that means as soon as you get into the system and you're wanting to know how to navigate in these credit streets, you already have an attack guide flow that tells you exactly how to do it. Now, okay, I jumped on just to ask a few quick questions. All right, give me 1 second, Michelle. As soon as I take a break with walk through the tabs before we sign in, I'll go ahead and let you ask your questions. Thank you. So with the Dispute Panda, this particular flow is specific to the Dispute Panda Pro. I want to explain that you can utilize the same flow of attacks even if you do not have the pro. The only difference with this attack guide that you're going to see is you will not have the ability to generate creditor letters, but you can still select the same attack.
Raquel, we can't hear you.
Okay, can you guys hear me now?
Yep.
Awesome sauce. So you guys, what is the last thing y'all heard? I'm so sorry because I'm just sitting here talking. What was the last thing you heard? Hey, Miss Wallace.
How are you?
Hey, I'm great. What was the last thing you heard me say?
And the difference between the pro and the free.
No creditor letters. Cool.
Mm-hmm,
all right,
absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much. Okay, so with the Dispute Panda Pro, this flow that's in here, everyone can use it. Just bear in mind that you will not have the creditor option available. Everything else will be accessible to you, so you can leverage. And if you guys want the old guide, I will go ahead and take it and drop it. Basically, the difference of the old guides that were available and the new updated information is with the beta testing and the testing that was completed, this is the most effective and efficient way to dispute your client's profile based on the attacks within the credit bureau and creditors, right? So it's like a double attack that you'd be doing through the process. So when you get here to the training tab, if we are not here on Monday, Wednesday, or Thursday, and you have questions, do not feel like you are stuck like Chuck, because you're not, honey. Just scroll on down, and there are full training videos for every single thing that I'm going to go through today. So today you get to ask questions about any single tab that you have, but if I'm not available, you can literally come and do the full walkthrough. I will only be going over importing the credit dyno one-click option for the credit monitoring. But if you're using any of the other credit monitoring options, they do have that link accessible for you in the training tab as well. So there's a bounty full of information, okay, that you can leverage on the platform that I don't want it to be missed out on. Also, if you have questions or concerns, you can use the contact tab, and the contact, our customer service team is actually here 24/7, 7 days a week, honey. And they will reply to you. I am a big advocate of sending videos and things of that nature over through the system. So I don't want you to feel like you can't get support. They are very responsive. So if you have a client specific question, you can put that information in here of the client's name and get it processed. If you have more of a general question, like I want to be a part of the beta testing, or I want to know about partnership, or I'm a part of the press because I am an influencer, right? You can go ahead and send those questions there to Miss Clark. I think she said that she's sending the information over. If you have a hard time transferring your clients over, you would come here as well, click other under the general tab, and you can put the CSV file in here and tell them that you need support with transferring your clients over. Customer service will help if you're having an issue once we get in. So these are the main points before we get started with the sign up for free option. Before I get there, I know Michelle had any questions. Are you ready for your question, Miss Michelle? You on mute. Hold on. Let me send a request over.
Yes, I'm ready. If I authorize.net, if I am I not able to get authorize.net, how else will I be able to get the credit card to link into my custom website? Do you accept Stripe or anything else?
On this platform, it only accepts merchant service that gives you an API key.
Correct, so, but not authorized.net. I need the drop down to say something else.
You need to drop down to say something else. So you're saying when you're actually in the platform itself. Hold on. Give me
yes. Yes, pull it out and let me. Okay, we could try it. Y'all see what the pipe looks like. If that pipe can stand up with the rings, that's fine. Look at your phone.
Give me 1 second, everyone. I'm trying to see if I can switch platforms real quick. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing really quickly. Give me 1 second. All right, Michelle. So you're saying that when you're in the tab and you're going under organization and you're trying to add your merchant service to the settings, what you're having an issue is you cannot use authorized.net and you're trying to find out what other services you can use?
Correct.
Okay, that would be a transparency. That would be a question that you would need to send over to the back office, because I only personally know of authorized.net as the gateway. I'm not saying that there may not be other options. Do you have one through your bank? Because I don't believe Stripe would work because Stripe doesn't give you a key.
Right. I do have my Stripe through key. I have my key. I have my API key. And
okay.
That's where I'm confused. Yes, but when it's asking also for a transaction key, I don't have a transaction key.
Mm-hmm. And it needs both of those in order for it to work. So
do you guys offer any other service? Do you offer Square, Stripe?
No, I know that so hold on 1 second. I think JM, I think there's another option, but it's still through, from my understanding, it's like a subsidiary through authorized.net.
Correct. And they have said no. So within that platform, then I guess I can't be a member of Dispute Panda.
Have you also tried, I just gave it out the other day. Hold on, let me see if I can find it in my email. Give me 1 second. Have you also tried, is it Gateway? No.
Yeah, but where is when I go into subscriptions, like when I log in and I go into subscriptions and then up at the top, it states
connect with merchant service
or enter the IP, API. The drop down only has one thing, authorized.net.
It does, because that is the only company that it is leveraging is authorized.net. But there's subsidiary companies that partner with authorized.net.
Correct. And they have all, so then there is
all of them said no.
Well, it was only 2. So what I'm trying to understand is there's no way I can then embed this into my website.
Not if you're looking for them to no. The answer would be no, because ultimately what we're looking for is authorized.net. So if now Ms. Clark did put in the messenger, like, are you looking for a merchant service? Because you can't, the system won't allow you to use Stripe. So let me ask the question. Did you try Proven as well? And Proven said no.
Yes, Proven has, all they did was accept the application. There's no phone number for them. I've been waiting 2 weeks. My website, I've paid for my website.
Okay.
So I don't know what else I can do. So that's why I'm either gonna, cause I don't know what else to do.
Okay, so my follow-up question is, so you reached out to Proven, you haven't heard back from them.
Proven has not answered me. I have an email from Proven for 2 weeks saying I've signed an application.
And that's it. Okay. Have you also tried GOAT?
Ghost?
GOAT. GOAT. Like the greatest of all time. GOAT.
Yeah, GOAT. Yeah.
And they said no.
GOAT.
And you said they said no?
No, I can, but he wants, you're talking about Smitty. He wants to switch my whole platform to him. So
okay, so I use GOAT. GOAT Payment was the first payment platform that I used. They're partnered with authorized.net. So if you went through GOAT, because they have a lower amount that you have to have for your credit score or whatever, if you go through GOAT, you can leverage GOAT and you would still be using authorized.net.
Okay, so you're saying go to GOAT.com.
Well, I'll drop the link information in here so that you can see it in the chat.
Okay. And then the other question is, Dispute Fox and Dispute Process the same company? Yes.
No. No, not that I know. No, ma'am.
All right.
I'm going to send you the platform information. I'm going to drop it in the chat. So Proven hasn't gotten back to you. I do apologize. I will go ahead and forward that information over to Dominique. But in the chat is the information for the GOAT system that I personally have used in the past. And they do, if you have a 600 credit score or lower, they will still accept you.
All right, just put the information for GOAT in there, and then I will email you, Latria. Okay.
Yep, I did. It's in the chat. So if anyone is having an issue and they do need support outside of, please definitely go ahead and you can leverage GOAT. That information leads you to the website so that you can go ahead and apply. And then they do work with authorized.net as well. So you would be able to still get that key information that you're talking about with the API and then the transaction key through authorized.net. Does that make sense? All right. Does anyone else have any questions before we get started? And thank you, Ms. Clark, for sending the message. And she has a couple of lists, so make sure you reach out to Ms. Clark if anyone else has any questions about that. I do know Proven is in there. I do apologize. Like I said, I will forward the information over to Dominique to let him know that there was a delay. Thank you so much, Michelle. All right, so we are going to get started with the signing up for the actual platform itself. I want to go ahead and point out some key things that are on this main screen. When you are looking at this sign up screen, this information is for the actual, for lack of better words, the owner of the actual platform. So you would put in your name, your email address that you're wanting to utilize. If you are utilizing this platform for yourself as a person, and then you switch to decide to make it a business, you can come in and edit the information accordingly. I don't want you to feel stuck, but this information that you're putting in is going to be the login information once you are actually have the account in your name with your email address. So all the information that you're putting in here is for the owner of the account. Now, if you're going to use the system to dispute your own credit, which we want you to do, okay? If you're going to use the system to dispute your own credit, what I would like you to do is to remember that you have to use a separate email address as the client. So for instance, even if it's not a business right now for you, you would use one particular email as the login information for the owner of the software. And then once you load yourself in, you would use a different email address. So for instance, I would use May Raquel as the owner of the platform, and then I would use David's wife as the user of the platform, right? So that you have that duality and are able to leverage the platform accordingly. So you're going to put in your information in here and rice treats. Some people are trying to come on. 23@gmail. All right. And since I'm not doing this as a business today, I am just going to go ahead and skip that part. I will also show you once we get into the software where you are able to go ahead and change that information. I always sign up for any offers or special products. It is completely up to you if you decide to do that or not. You can go ahead and read the terms and conditions. I always tell everyone to go ahead and leverage that. As you can see, it put like my name in the block as the business name. Again, I'll show you guys how to change that in a moment. Once you are in the software, it will give you this service agreement. It basically tells you how you are going to be doing business with Dispute Panda, what it looks like, what it sounds like, what you are expected of, and what the company is expected to do, so that there's a clear outline of how to do business within the company. With that being said, I'm not going to read it all today, but definitely make sure you read it before you sign anything so that you're good to go. And then we are going to get to the main dashboard. So on the main dashboard here, you have the ability to kind of see the platform in its totality. This right here where it says birthdays, this is a feature that it will list the client's information, any missing documents. If you are on one, it will show that information, as well as the birthday is actually a pro feature. But this is what the main dashboard looks like when you sign up. You do not have to go ahead and click the verification email right now. You can choose to do that at a later time, but I do want to tell you that you do have to verify your email address. So for those of you guys that are building it with me in real time, do not feel overwhelmed if you do not verify the email right now. It is completely okay. All right. Once you are in the platform here, this option here is to upgrade. So you can upgrade right on the main screen. If you choose to, it will give you shareable forms. Of course, you'll be able to have the secure platform with your client portal, as well as Zapier integrations will be available. But this is the moneymaker that I like to talk about, is the Credit Dyno credit monitoring software. So with Dispute Panda, when you have the Credit Dyno affiliate link, it gives you the ability to see your client's credit report for a full 7 years on the, like every single 35 to 40 days, right? A lot of the other credit monitoring software only gives you information for the last 2 years. So it tells you that the client may be in past due status or derogatory, but you're only seeing the last 24 months. You're not able to see when they actually went derogatory. So this platform actually gives you the ability to see the full 7 years. So if you are looking to create passive income, this is a great way for you to create your own profile. You can become an affiliate and you can get up to $22. There are different plans that you can select by calling the Credit Dyno team. The standard payout is $8 per client. All right. I definitely recommend signing up for Credit Dyno, because if you have a Credit Dyno account along with the Dispute Panda, you have the ability to go ahead and get a free round of attack every 35 days for your client. So instead of paying the $17 per month per round, you actually get a free round of attack because they're using the Credit Dyno software. Okay. So with the software, you also get the creditor letters that I was showing you in this attack flow when you're using Credit Dyno. So you're able to dispute with the credit bureau, with the creditors, and you're able to go ahead and get a free round of attack. So the platform is free if you're using the free version. The platform is free. The creditor letters are going to be free for you. And of course, if you have money in your bucket, the static letters are free also. So yes, honey. Yes, Miss Wallace, it is a power move and it is a definite game changer. So if you are looking to go ahead and really figure out how to navigate and keep the cost down for sure, that is definitely one way to do it. And I'm going to show you guys what the credit report looks like once we get into the system and we start loading the client in. Okay, but you are able to sign up as an affiliate, and then you can go ahead and start collecting revenue off of the fact that your clients have this. I make the post at the end of the month and at the beginning of every month, like, when's the last time you seen your credit report, honey? And we're not talking about just free creditreport.com that you can only get annually. Like, we want to get into these streets and make sure that you get everything that you need, right? So once you are on the dashboard, there are 2 ways to get to your client platform. One way is you can go ahead and get right here at the top bar where it says search client. You do have to have at least 3 characters for it to pull your clients up. So if you have multiple Smiths, you would go ahead and type it out. It will pull up all the Smiths and you can select who you like, or on the client tab, and it will give you a list of all the clients that you have in the database, right? If you have active clients, you would be there. If you have to make your clients inactive, you can go ahead and click that, and you would see who is inactive. You can still give them email campaigns if you choose to. But if you are importing clients, you would simply click on the import option, and you would be able to upload your CSV file of all your clients from whatever platform you're migrating from over to our platform. Okay, so it does make it very user friendly. Now, I will also drop in the chat that I recommend that if anyone is having an issue with the platform, there is a software that I use that is free 99 called loom.com. So if you are having an issue navigating, this is something that I use with my coaching clients, like when I'm doing a recap, when I'm pulling the numbers and the scores for the client, I'll do a Loom video and embed the actual link to the email that I'm sending out to the client. Now, the reason that I do that is 2 things. Loom lets you know when the people watch it, okay? So I know that sometimes they don't open my emails. They may not read all my emails. They may not always read my text message, but hunty, if I send this via text and I send that Loom link, it will give me the ability to see that that person opened it and saw it. Now, if you didn't watch it, that ain't on me. But this is a good way for you to capture if you're having system issues and you're wanting to contact customer support, to show them, not just tell them, hey, I'm having a problem with client such and such, such and such. You can physically show them the problem that you're having. And again, Loom will alert you when someone has gone ahead and watched the video, so that you know, and they can comment on the video like in real time, like this is the response. So I like to give out free tools that are beneficial in the growth of what we got going on. So hopefully that helps. But this is where you would go to import your clients if you have a CSV file. If you are looking to add a new client, you would click the new client tab, and you would enter your client's information, which we're going to do in a minute, but I like to go over the full side panels, and then I open the floor for any questions, then I into the new clients. Okay, guys? Now, this letter tab over on the left panel, the letter tab gives you the ability to go ahead and see what letters have been sent out to your clients. But the software also sends letters out for your clients if you elect to do so. So you do have to have money in your account in order for the letters to be mailed, because there is a fee, of course. If you are sending out letters same day before 12 p.m. PST, the letters will go out. If it's after 12 p.m., it will go out the next business day. Again, the letters are only mailed Monday through Friday, honey. That's it, Monday through Friday. If you choose certified mail, which you are able to, you can choose certified mail. When you choose the certified mail option, you will get a tracking code. You do not have to log into USPS. You can come here and actually look at the information on the website here. So it does give you the ability for you to walk through and get everything that you need in one system. So if you just want to generate the letters, you don't want to stuff, you don't want to send to the post office, you can leverage to do that. I like to be transparent. I am going to start, I'm about to say this, I am going to start using the system next month, because Hunter said he is tired of being my bodyguard. And for y'all that know me on Facebook, Hunter is my bodyguard on Saturdays when I go to the post office so he can get a nice little lollipop. That's my 6-year-old. And he told me it is too cold to be out in these streets. He is not doing it. So completely up to you guys if you want to leverage a platform. My accountability partner does utilize the mail system, and she has had no issues at all. So you are able to see everything in real time, and the letters are coded. So you will be able to know what's going on. So just in case, if you want to leverage it, you have the ability to go ahead and see what the guidelines are, and you'll be able to see what the statuses are. Now, remember, the only thing that's guaranteed is the certified mail. If you are using the first class mail is just like you taking the letter and walking it to the post office and dropping it in the box. It is what it is. If it gets there, we hope, right? The inbox option is the next tab. That is a feature for the pro. That's your client's portal. They're able to email you. Once you go to the pro, they can upload their documents on their own. They can sign your contract, all of the amazing things from there. That's what the inbox gives you. The report. I love this report option, y'all. So this is what the report looks like. Let me know. Can y'all see my screen real quick? This report actually shows you, like, on the grand scheme of things, how much money you have gotten deleted from your clients, how much debts in dollars, right? How many deletions overall, what has been the increase in the scores. Like, it tells you all of that information in real time. Okay, so you're able to go ahead and not only get this, but you can actually share it as a social media post. So if you are doing this as an individual and you're like, hey, I'm trying to help 5 families get their credit together, go ahead and DM me, and you can go ahead and show the results of what you've been able to remove and delete just off of your own profile if you're using yourself as a client, right? Just from the report tab. And you can share this on your social media. Just click the download button and Bob's your Uncle Honey. You go ahead and share it out there. Share it out there. So I do love that feature when it comes to the report. Again, that is a pro feature. The subscription feature is where you can create your payment plans, different subscription plans, and you can create your payment forms. But it would have to be under the pro version as well. This is a pro feature. And then all of this information, the training, is like what we showed on the first screen. And then the contact us is where you're able to speak to customer service on that link, right? That is all of the tabs that are on the side. Now, I want to point out some key things. The balance is where you get to see how much money you have sitting in your account for you to dip into, okay? Any pending credits that you have, you'd be able to see it in dollars. So again, if you refer, we do have a referral program, which I will show you in a moment. The referral program is not active right now, only because we're focusing on some other things. However, the referral program will be live. So I will show you guys how to sign up for the referral program in real time, so that if you have friends that are wanting to be a beast in these credit streets, you can earn revenue just from them signing up to the platform as well. If you go to conventions, I go to a lot of conventions. I go to real estate conventions, credit card conventions. I be conventing. Okay, no, just I go out here to these streets and network, and there are a lot of people who want to get into the credit game, but they don't want to have a high overhead. They don't want to pay for systems. And with Dispute Panda, this is a great way for them to be able to leverage that. Okay. So I definitely love talking about how we can get free money, okay, in these streets. So when you click on the balance tab, guys, it takes you into the setting features. I'm going to go over the side panel really quickly, and then I'm going to dive into the billing portion that it opened up in 1 second. This profile tab that is in here gives you the ability to go ahead and edit your information. So if you need to update your phone number, if your name has changed, like I didn't add my David, don't tell my husband because he will act crazy, y'all. But if I wanted to, if you changed your name or whatever, you can come here and change that information. You can also put your photo in, so that when your clients, if you get the pro version, when they log in, they're able to see who's working on their file, like they can see your little picture, right? When it comes to the organization, you are able to drop your logo in here if you have one, your website, your phone number, your email address, your privacy policy, come on somebody, the address, as well as the contract. So if you guys are needing help with any of those things, you can come into this software and go ahead and update all of those pieces of information. One of the other benefits that I love about Dispute Panda is if you do have a VA, if you're doing this as your business, you do not have to give them your login. You can simply come into the platform and go ahead and let me edit them. Sorry. You can go ahead and actually add a party to add that person that you want to work on the profile, and they will not have administrative capacity. They will be able to go in, print the round of letters for you, and make sure that your clients' letters go out accordingly. But that's all the access that they will have. So you don't have to give your password, and it's unlimited team members. So it's not like you have to pay if you have 4 VAs that's working on your profile or something of that nature. Also, if you have any affiliate links, yes, your credit dyno link is an option. Once you go ahead and if you switch to the pro, you can have all your affiliate links in here if you choose. And what will happen is your client will be able to select from each one of those affiliate links to leverage, right? So this is an option that you can take advantage of on the organization tab. So again, you can have all the affiliate links, or you can put all of them in here and turn them off accordingly, so that you could be like, hey, I'm only using Credit Dyno. I know I have these links here, but until it's broken, this is the only one I'm going to use. Or you can use, any variation of them to give your clients options according to what your desire is. Okay. The disputing option is the credit bureaus have multiple addresses. And sometimes the letters will come back If it does, you can simply come here and change the address that's supposed to be sent on the letter. And that way the letter will then print with that updated address that's on the platform. It hasn't happened lately. That doesn't mean it won't happen. We do like to keep everyone abreast if there is any changes to that, to the addresses, or if we see anything is coming back and it's like, hey, use this different address because I'm getting more responses. We do put that information in the dispute option as well. The billing option, ooh, I love this one. So the billing option, you can set up your payment information. I want to clarify, if you're using this as a personal tool, you're repairing your credit, your husband's credit, you might help out a cousin, a sister, or a friend, the payment information should still be your card. So even if you are helping out family members, if they are not signing up to Credit Dyno, they're going to use the other credit monitoring software, that's fine. You just need to collect the $17 for their round and bill it on your card. Now, you can go ahead and buy in bulk, which will allow your rate to go from $17 down to $12 per round if you purchase in bulk. You would just enter the amount here and then hit checkout, and it will go ahead and walk you through. Or if you are doing it for a more controlled group, like I said, you can choose to do the subscribe and save. So if it's you and your husband, you can go ahead and load up $20. It will bill you $20 every single month, but it will gift you $30 every month. And if you choose the $60 option, you would get $90 every month. I had someone else ask on a call, like, hey, why would I do this if I'm using Credit Dyno? Well, if you're using Credit Dyno, but you're choosing not to mail out the rounds yourself, that is an option that you don't have to worry about because the money is already sitting on there, and you just be able to click the option for mail to go out through the system. Okay. So those are two features that I definitely love. Of course, it gives you the ability to go ahead and upgrade to the Dispute Panda Pro on that screen. The invoice screen allows you to see any invoices that are going out, any Panda Pro bills that are going out, or any statements for your clients. The activity tab shows you the attacks you selected, the mailing information, and any attack credit. So I had this question before where it was like, oh, if it's me and my husband, or if it's my mom, does she need to have her own? Remember, the credit pool itself is subject to the person's, when you're logging into this software and you're signing up, you're putting in your social, your email, your address. So the credit will only be associated to that one particular person. Okay. So each person has to have their own Credit Dyno, or if you're using Smart Credit, whoever you're using, they need to have their own login information. Now, with Credit Dyno, you do not have to log into the credit monitoring software and then log into to upload the information. With Credit Dyno, you literally just go to the document tab, which I'm going to show you guys in a minute, and you click one-click import every 35 days. It automatically updates the report, so you don't have to go into two different systems to go ahead and get an updated credit report. That, I'm just going to tell y'all, if y'all got more than 10 people, that is a game changer. It's a one-click import, one and done. But you do get free credits from them having the Credit Dyno every 35 days. Okay. I think it's Ariana. I could be saying that wrong. Please forgive me. She said, how long does it take for anything to be deleted? It all depends, because remember that these letters are comprised of Metro 2 information. So it depends on, if you're using names. I can see some clients who have I have one client who got the first round, they got 17 items deleted. I've had one client where the first round, they only got their name and maybe 2 accounts deleted, right? So there's no, I want to be completely transparent. Credit repair is not, I like to call it a science, in the sense of there isn't one size fits all in credit repair, just like in weight loss or in trying to get that ideal sculpt body, right? It's not a one method and you're done. So I can't tell you if it's going to take 1 round or if it's going to take 7 rounds, right? The Dispute Panda software gives you the ability to have a full 12 rounds of attack, which means you have a full year of flows of what you need to send out to the credit bureaus, what supporting letters should go with them, and what dates you should be sending those letters out. So I can't tell you like, oh, everyone will get everything deleted. I can tell you that I have used the Dispute Panda software now. This is going into my 7th, 8th month that I've used them, and I have not had an account. I've not had one letter go out that did not result in deletions. Okay. So that definitely, it definitely is a real thing. Okay. The next thing is on the tab down here is integration. Integration allows you to go ahead and integrate other platforms using Zapier with the Dispute Panda. So if you want to have an email sequence and things of that nature, you can have systems kind of talk to each other in real time. This last tab is the Dispute Panda referral. Again, I'm all about the what? The shmoney, y'all. Like, y'all need to be making money in your sleep. So right now, the referral program is not up, but the referral program is available for you to sign up. So I would suggest if once you guys are in the platform, go ahead and click on Dispute Panda referral agreement and go ahead and get started with getting the referrals once it goes live at the beginning of the year. They're looking to make it go live, I want to say 1st or 2nd quarter next year. So if you're in there like swimwear, you won't miss out when that opportunity comes in. Don't sleep on it. Okay, because I'm all about residual passive income for everyone. Okay, so before I get started with the clients and loading myself, my test client in and showing you guys the walkthrough of that, I'm going to go ahead and pull up this ID sequence, and then I'm going to open the floor for any questions before we get started with the clients. So if anyone has any questions, please raise your hand. I do see one in the chat from Vanquish. The last 3 rounds I've sent out all resulted in letters from each of the bureaus notifying me that the received letter does not, they received the letter, but they do not believe that I am the one who authorized it. I have tried the handwritten option. I have also contacted customer support and was told that there's a stall tactic, which is what it is. So I have to say I have lost some of my confidence in the software, as well as not had much success. Okay, so here's my question, my love. When you are saying that you received that letter back, I know that there was a video that was done maybe like 2 months ago that Dominique did when he did that live Dispute Panda night, and he went through the stall letter. Did you go ahead and send out the stall letter with the round of attack that you did, Vanquish? Let me know if you can come off mute, Vanquish. I can't. Okay, I can't. Let me know if you can come off mute, my love, because I can show you what you need to do. It's not about handwritten or non-handwritten. I did have another person who was here earlier, and they came in like really, really early, and they asked the question, and their response was, hey, I sent the letter out. I got a stall letter, but I wasn't able to go ahead and I did get other letters back from that same credit bureau, right? So if you send 3 rounds and each round they have told you that they have not responded because they do not believe it's you, they believe it's a third party, I will show you where you would get the stall letter and what you would do in order to get support. It's not a platform thing, it's a strategy thing. And you have to know the strategies that they're leveraging for you to be able to support properly. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, Vanquish, please go ahead and come off mute. I'll be happy to support. Give me 1 second, David. I got 2 more in the chat and I'll be right up to you, okay? Will referrals be active on the free side or only the pro? The referrals are there whether you're free or not. Whether you're on the free program or the pro, it isn't going live until sometime next quarter. I just tell everyone to get in now so that you're able to leverage accordingly. Okay. So it doesn't matter if you're free or not, if you're on the free program or if you're on the pro. Jordan said, hey, good night. I need to know, how do I respond to the credit reporting agency when they haven't written me in 30 days? I sent out my first letter on 10/27. I also a stall letter on 10/15. So Jordan, two questions. One, have you already pulled your updated report? Have you looked to see if there's been any removals, deletions, or anything of that nature? If you sent the stall information on 11/15, today's only the 27th, you have to allow them time to process the original request, because you should have sent the stall letter with the original letter that you had together. So let me know in the comments if you did that, so that I can go ahead and respond accordingly. All right, Mr. David, you are on. What question do you have for me?
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, finally. I have a couple of questions. The first
Okay.
one is, I'm new to this still, and I'm sure a lot of people are. How do we get information for factual disputes? Because AI is not going to write those letters. So things like late payments. I hear you citing certain laws and stuff that why they need to have it removed. Where do we find that type of, is there a template, or where do we find that type of information from?
So there are letters that I will show you in the system that is already citing the laws accordingly, right? In the actual system. With the artificial intelligence, it does give you a mixture of Metro 2 as well as factual information that will be generated in the letters from what is pulled from the actual credit report that is pulled in from the client. But if you're wanting step-by-step on factual disputing, it will not give you that. The sequence that it offers is basic attacks based on the AI algorithm and what is on the report. Most of it, like I said, most of the letters are a hybrid letter. So they will have some factual disputing information with it, and it will have basic laws that are generated to go with the letters as well. If you're looking for more strategic planning, I would say the pro team is where you would go for that, if that makes any sense. Because
What I'm
they
looking
take you
for is
through the
how do I dispute late payment? So I'm not trying to get rid of the whole file. I just want to dispute that late payment. And like I said,
so
I'm
if
new
you're
to this, so I don't know what the laws are.
So if you're in the system, the flow that we normally give when it comes to late payment is that you're going to leverage the goodwill letter first, and systemically the system will register that it is only a late issue, and it will be able, we are customizing a specific late letter that will drop in the template as well that you will have access to once it's updated. But if you're looking for it right now, there isn't a specific letter right now that is factual that's in the software. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. What about how do we dispute bankruptcies and foreclosures?
You would use the same. So that it doesn't matter if it's collections, bankruptcy, repos, charge off, child support liens. And the one that I also dropped in the chat, the one that the original flow that I dropped in the chat also has, it doesn't, the flows don't matter whether or not the client has bankruptcies, repos, or child support liens. It's still the same flow that you're utilizing.
Okay.
They're trying to make it as simple as possible for you. So you would just take the actual flow and work the flow according, no matter what the client has. The only exception to that rule is if the client has a late payment, we do suggest that you use the flow of the goodwill letter and going through that process of sending a message to the CEO with that same goodwill letter as well.
Okay. And then the last question is, how do we get the client agreement? I've been here a couple times. You always say you're going to post it, but I still haven't seen a client agreement.
The client agreement is in the community and we have dropped it. I will have oh, okay. So JM dropped some Metro 2 information as well. in the chat for you guys to watch the YouTube replay on that one. Consumer law versus factual, which one is better when it comes to late payment, that is there. And then JM, if you can drop the contract for me in the chat so that they can have it. If you're in the community, I believe it was sent back on the 9th in the Dispute Panda community. If you type in contracts, it's there, but JM just dropped the sample contract in the chat for you to download as well.
Okay, thank you.
My pleasure. Any other questions?
Nope, that was it.
All right, no problem. Thank you. Great questions. Hold on one second. So back to the question. Okay. So I did answer Derwin. I wouldn't toss in the towel yet. I got a stall from TransUnion for personal information. It's the way the bureaus work. You are absolutely correct. Okay. I cannot wait until you open the question. I can't stay to send the stall letters. Yes, please do. Okay, so yes, if you go into the static option gives you the stall letter. You would send the stall letter and the original letter with the date, because you're putting the date in of when you sent the last letter to them. You would put both of them in the envelope together and mail it out. So you want to make sure that you're sending the round with the stall letter, not just the stall letter by itself. So that way you're letting them know why they're playing in your face and that they need to go ahead and get it together. Because remember, the goal is to try and get everything completed, because by round 5, you want to go ahead and have a track record to go ahead and file a CFPB complaint, okay? If they're not leveraging or responding accordingly. Okay, so that's to vanquish. Hey, Jordan, what question did you have, my love?
Hey, how you doing? Good night. I wanted to know, so I was supposed to send a star letter the same day I sent off the original letter, but the original letter was supposed to be included in the star letter envelope.
Was that a question? I want to make sure. Was that the question?
Yeah, that was a question. I'm sorry, yeah.
No, you're fine. So yeah, when you're sending off the stall letter, you want to include the original dispute request. So if I sent a dispute request on this October 24th, right? And I mailed that letter off, I got nothing back, or I got stalls back from everyone, I'm printing the stall letter out and I'm attaching the stall. If I have the pro, I can download, and I will show you guys in a second, I can download the actual original stall letter in the document, so it prints out the stall letter and the actual first dispute round that I have together, right? But if you don't have the pro and you just have the standard version, you would print out the stall request and then you would go into the system and just reprint out your original round of attack. So if that was attack 1, attack 2, whatever, you're going to attach them together and mail the letter with the original request together. It's not separate.
All right, thank you.
My pleasure, my love, my pleasure. Okay, I'm so sorry about your microphone, Vanquish, but I'm glad you're here, boo. No, I did not send the stall letter with the original letters. I sent it a few days after. That I wouldn't panic, Jordan, with your question. I really wouldn't panic because you sent the stall letter. What I would do is hang tight until your 35th or 40th day and then pull your report to see if there's any changes that happen to your profile since you sent the stall letters after, right? Does that make sense? Like you sent the stall letter and then you sent the request thereafter. Give it some breathing room and some space for them to process it. And since they just sent it on the 15th, you just sent it out on the 15th, I would give them that full 35 days for them to do their thing and then move on. Does that make sense?
Copy. So it's 30 days on the original letter and 35 on the static, or all together just 35 days for the...
So that you have to remember that your static letter was supposed to be paired with the original letter.
Right.
So since you said your static letter and then you sent your dispute a few days after, whatever date you originally sent your dispute letter, because you sent them to static, I would piggyback off of the date that you sent out the actual second request, since you didn't send everything together.
All
Does that make
thank
sense?
you.
So if you sent the static on the 15th and then you resent your original dispute on like the 17th, give them 35 days from the 17th.
All right, no, I sent
Okay.
it October 20. Yeah, I get what you're saying. All right, copy.
Got
Thank
it.
you.
Roger that. I love it. Okay. 1 second, Mr. David. I have two more in the comments, but give me 1 second. Let me get Vanquish, and then I'm gonna get you, Mr. David. Bankruptcy disputes, only the court can report a bankruptcy, and they don't do that. Do so, freeze them and send letters to the court asking if they notify the credit bureau of this. You will receive a response with that information. Oh, so Vanquish is telling you a method that you can leverage for bankruptcy, because he is correct. The bankruptcy court does tell you that they do not normally report to the credit bureau. I do want to advise that there is someone at the bankruptcy does update the credit files. It's not required, it's not mandatory. Therefore, you can leverage that option of going ahead and getting it removed by going through the bankruptcy court. Now, there is a letter that is in the actual breakdown, and I will show you guys that once I get in. So I was going to circle back when it came to the bankruptcy question. But Mr. David, what was your question, since you have your hand up?
I can't remember what it was now. Oh, what happens when we don't hear back from them after 35 days? What's the next thing to do?
So if you do not hear back from them, you're supposed to use the stall letter, right? If they said, normally what happens is you normally get a stall letter that says, hey, we think a third party might be trying to reach out to us. You are not required to use a third party, and they may even say that it's not legal for you to use a third party. Nowhere in the FCRA does it say that. So if you get a letter that like that, you would leverage the stall letter. I leverage the stall letter if there's no changes, no response, or I get a stall letter on my client's profile. That is what I would use a stall letter for, and send the original round out to the client. Now, the reason why this particular flow was created was because if you are sending letters to the credit bureau and they're trying to sleep on you, the fact that you're sending letters to the creditors is giving you a better opportunity for the credit bureau to do what they're supposed to do, because the creditors are going to go ahead and respond to your letters and send the response to the credit bureau as well, if they're in compliance or if they're not in compliance. Does that make sense? So this method of attack that you're getting, it will cut down on those stall letters that are coming out.
Okay, so I got a stall letter when I tried to get my personal information updated. It said that it looks like someone's trying to, you're using a third party or something to that effect, but I hadn't done any attacks yet. I was just trying to get my personal information updated. And then I did the attack after. Do I need to still send a stall letter, even though I did the attack after I got their letter?
You don't necessarily have to. I will tell you that sometimes they will send you a second stall. Like, I literally have had a situation where I was disputing my client's profile. They answered month 1, 2, and 3. And then month 4, they were like, we think we're working with another company. And I was like, dude, you didn't already answer me all these months. What's wrong with you? Now, I did send a stall letter. I actually do have, I personally, with the personal information letter, my question would be, when you sent that information off, did you send these supporting documents with them?
Yes. Yes.
You sent your ID, you sent a valid bill or something of that nature, and your social. Yeah. So that's just them playing. Again, they like to play in your face. So in that particular case, would I necessarily be worried about the stall? No. You want to do the personal information letter first, since you already moved on to the attack before you got that stall letter in. I would not be concerned until you're 35 days from your original request for the actual attack. Does that make sense? I hope I didn't lose him. Okay. Yolanda, how can I help?
Hey, I just had a quick question about the personal information. So when you send the personal information in for your client, you have to wait 35 days for them to respond, or however many days, and you'd have to
Nope.
wait before you start to send your attack letter?
Nope. I send a personal information day 1, day 10, and every 30 days thereafter until the names and addresses are cleared. So I do not wait for them to respond back for the personal information. I like to explain that a personal information letter is me basically giving you notice. Like, it's me saying, hey, this is my name. This is my only address, my only date of birth. I'm not asking you to do nothing. I'm making you be aware that this is the only information you should have. That's not an attack. That's not a request. That's an update. Does that make sense?
Okay, so then you can go ahead and send attack letters right away. Okay, that was my question.
Absolutely. Absolutely. As long as you have supporting documents. Again, every state is different. I am in the state of Texas, so I do send the personal information letter out personally. That is something I do when my clients, once they send me their IDs and information, if I have it in on day 1, I will send them out that personal information letter on day 1. My state says that you can go ahead and cancel within 3 days. You have a right of rescission within 3 days. So I don't send out my first round of attack until day 3. So my day 1 letter, which would be like your day 1 round of attack, is day 3 for my particular book of business. So I don't wait for the personal information to come back. This does allow you to appear to your client like you're actively trying to get work done for them, right? They're able to get documents back. And if you already know that there's going to be a stall situation, I personally created a video that says, hey, do not be alarmed if you see this information. This is why they're asking for it. This is the information that they're wanting for you. I will let them know if they have to fill out a form, because like if you send letters to LexisNexis or Novus, sometimes they will send a form back to your client that will say, hey, I need you to verify that you are who you say you are. And that's just because they want them to send their ID and they want them to fill out their own form. But once you're able to go through the process, you can educate them, like, don't be alarmed when you see this. This is the whys behind it. And that way you can leverage that. But no, you don't have to wait. If you send personal information letter day 1, you can send a personal information letter day 1. And if you're working on your own profile, you can send the first round of attack. Just be mindful that if a stall letter comes back, your go-to is to send the stall letter and resend the original round of attack that you completed. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Awesome sauce. Any other questions? Any other questions? Any other questions, guys? Okay, cool. So I left this up on the screen because I like to get into what we need, okay? If you guys are happening to not be able to take a screenshot of it, or you're not by your computers, understand that the proof of identification when it comes to sending out of your round of attacks are a valid driver's license if you're doing a proof of ID, Social Security card, paycheck stub, W-2, W-9, court document with a legal name change, your birth certificate. My friend used to say your passport, your passport, your marriage certificate, your divorce decree, your state ID, and your military ID are all valid forms to prove that you are who you say you are in these streets. Now, I want to say this. If your client moved from Kentucky to Texas, okay, so now they're living in Texas, they do not have a Texas ID, honey, please don't use that valid driver's ID. Do not use the driver's license if the driver's license is still in Kentucky. I need you to pull down from one of the other options that are proof of identification and provide a supporting document for a proof of address. Now, if the driver's license is valid, then you would move on to a secondary identification for the proof of address, which is utility bill. Now, I want to point out, if you're leveraging a utility bill, you want to make it your business that the utility bill is updated every 90 days, guys, so that way it's in compliance with the credit bureau and they don't run any kind of stall tactics on you at all, okay? You can use cell phone bill, paycheck stub, W-2, 1099 form, your rental or home deed, your mortgage statement, your bank statement, and your state ID are all proofs of addresses that you can leverage, okay? The third optional one is your social security card. I do tell people that my clients, the first round of request that goes out, I definitely do send out the social security card with my first round of attack. It is completely optional, guys, if you want to take it. I just like to be safe and sound and give them all three in each column. Does that make sense? Like one in each column. So you can leverage that. So this information, if you are not here, is also located in how do I add a client to Dispute Panda credit repair software and get a free attack. That is where you can actually view this same screenshot, because that's literally where I stole it from, y'all. Don't judge my life. That's what it did. So just in case, if you guys need it, it is literally under the training tab. You just click that training module and you're good to go. Now I'm going to load my client into the software. One of the things that I like to point out about this software is that you want to make sure you have as much information as you want generated on the letter, because whatever you're putting on here is actually going to generate in the letter that is going out to your client. Okay. So if I'm doing test client, if my client, I personally do add senior, junior, 15, 20 seconds. Why do I do that? Because sometimes I have full households, husband, wife, sons, daughters. And if there is a senior, a junior, or whatever may have you, I want to be able to make sure that every person is being, I know who I'm working with when I'm in their profile. Bear in mind, if you have junior is going to print out on the letter. So you want to make sure that they're also signing their paperwork with the junior or with the second or with the third, however they're moving it, so that name, it's one name, one date of birth, one address is showing up on their platform, on their credit report, on their credit report. So when, again, remember I said that when you sign up, you have to sign up with a different email as a client versus the owner of the actual platform itself. So it will not allow you to use the same email twice, not as the owner and the client. You have to have a separate email. I'm gonna put my phone number in. All right, and the last four of an imaginary social. Now, this is particularly important that when you're going through and you're adding information into the system, that you're making sure that the street address, the city, and the state are all on individual lines. Because if it's all on one, again, it's going to be printed that way on the letter and it's not going to be formatted right. So you want to make sure that each one of these boxes are highlighted accordingly, so that it is able to be printed, and you want to make sure that the name is, the date of birth is on there. Now, if you are using the pro version, you would simply click Save Client Access right here and then hit save. It will automatically send the email with the updated information on file for you. If you do not have the Safe Client Access because you don't have the Pro, you simply hit save and you are good to go. It will go ahead and generate to the next screen. Now, as you can see here, guys, this system is blacked out. So you're not able to go anywhere until you fill in the required documents. As you can see, when I scroll down, if you hit the credit monitoring option, it says Credit Dyno one-click import, which means you don't have to log into a separate platform, update the credit profile, download it, and then upload it here. You literally just come in here, you put the username and password, you click one-click import, and Bob's your uncle, honey. But we're going to start from the top to the bottom, because as you can see, that's the flow, right? So I like to show this tool off because I feel like it's the best tool since sliced bread, okay? So a lot of times you will learn, especially if you're doing this with family and friends. I have asked my sister-in-law, can you please just send me your ID, and she'll send it to me on like a big old white piece of paper, like it's in the middle of this white piece of paper. Well, the point is we want you to not have to waste ink paper, toner, especially if you pay for the system to go ahead and set it out for you, honey, and be your legs and your ink. What you want to do is make sure that you're cropping accordingly. Okay, guys? So what you would do is be able to come into the system. You can crop, make sure you see the address, the client's name. If you can get the date in the system so it shows us within that 90-day window, you crop and you save, you're good to go. Now, if for some reason it doesn't save, there's a glitch, there's a problem, it will look weird here, and you would be able to go ahead and click this X to take it out. Or if you're updating the information, you would simply do the same thing, remove it from the platform, and then go right back in. You can, I'm a drag and drop girl. You can click search and find, completely up to you. And that way you can go ahead and have the platform work for you. And the goal is to try and get all of the documents on one piece, no more than 2 pieces of paper. So if you're using that long piece of paper, you're using up ink, you're using up things that you don't need. And we want you to be able to crop and go. All right. So you can make the adjustments accordingly to make sure that you're not spending all the monies, because you're already spending this on the color paperwork, okay? Now, again, the new flow that came out, everything is in black and white, okay? So again, that's saving all of the monies and all of the lands, okay? I love that for us. So I'm going to go ahead and upload the social. You see it here. So once you see the grade out in the back, if it does not look like this, y'all, then you need to re-import your client's information, because it is not going to allow you to get to the next step because this information is not clear. So I want to leverage that with you when you are moving through these streets, okay? So I'm going to stop sharing for a quick moment, because I'm going to enter the testing credential information. While I'm doing that, I will not be able to see the screen, but if you guys have any questions or comments or concerns, please feel free to go ahead and ask them. You can come off of mute. Any questions, guys? All right, so I'm gonna put in the password for Credit Dino. Give me 1 second. All right, it looks like we have no questions. For you guys that are by your computer, if you have a contract question, please, if you need the contract, it is in the chat. Please, please, please go ahead and grab it. It is also in the community, in the Credit Dino community. So you will have the ability to go ahead and leverage that as well. Okay. All right. I'm going to go back to sharing now. Share screen. All right. Let me know if you guys can see all my stuff. Okay. So on the platform, this is what will pop up on the screen once you have done your your monthly import. It will say you have a free round of attack. And if you look down here to the left, this information is also confirmed when it says free attack credits. It has that information over to the bottom left. Now, I do want to point out when we get to the static letters that static letters are free as long as you have money in your bucket. If you do not have money in your bucket, static letters are not free 99. Excuse me, y'all. Thank you. So with that being said, the system automatically looks at Credit Dino. The Credit Dino or the credit monitoring software that you're leveraging. It looks at the information and it goes, Okay, these are the things that we automatically off the top of our head knows needs to be disputed for our clients. Now, if you do not want that option, you can click this deselect option and it will uncheck every single one of these boxes, and you are able to curate what letters you are wanting, like which accounts you're wanting to dispute for your actual clients. Okay. I want to start from the top so you kind of have an idea of the sequence of everything. The system will not at this present time select any inquiries for you. So if you are needing to figure out whether or not, oh, it doesn't tell my business, y'all. Hold on. If you are needing to figure out whether or not these inquiries are attached to an account, you would have to either scroll down and look at them, or you can use Control F, or you can use Command F, right? And you can put the actual account name into the software, and it will tell you if it's in the body of the actual report or not. It'll take you there. Rule of thumb, you do not want to dispute any open and active credit profiles. Okay. So if the client had a $1 million account that was open and active, you do not want to dispute that one particular account at all. Point blank, period. That is not something you want to do, because if you dispute that particular inquiry, you run the risk of having that account closed. Capital One is known for doing that. Amex is known for doing that. A lot of the credit cards are known for doing that. You don't want to put your client in a bad situation, especially if the account itself is in good standings or it's very old, right? You don't want to have that happen. So you can go ahead and scroll. Every time I get on a call, I know that they don't have a one main, so I normally select one main. You do not have to select an inquiry at all. I personally like to be very aggressive when I'm sending out my letters. I want to dispute everything, okay? Linda and Daniel and them, I need to dispute all of it, okay? So I want you to be able to leverage that. That's just my experience. Also, if you have the bankruptcy, you can go ahead and select this option here for the bankruptcy option to be selected, and the letter for the round that you're picking will generate with the bankruptcy information already on there. And then you are able to go ahead and look at the accounts, and you can have a conversation. Like if you're doing this for your family members or your loved ones, one of the amazing features that I love is this little eye tool. Let me get into why this credit time will be everything, y'all. So when you're having a client, you're having a conversation with them, or you're talking to your family member and they're like, I'm good with my credit. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't need no help. Cool. Say less. You can go ahead and look at the account with them and say, well, so this account is in charge off. It shows that your balance owed is $12,000, right? $561, but your credit limit was $10,500, which means you went over the amount that was due for this bill, right? You can tell them what their payment history is, how late have they been with that particular profile. So you'll be able to see per credit bureau. So you could be like, hey, your payment history is worth 192.5 points, roughly, okay? If you are at 52%, you're not getting that full 190 plus points. Let's talk about it. How are we going to change it? If you're talking to a client, not a family member, now I'm gangster with my family members, with my clients, okay, I'll ask them, like, I see that you went late August of 2022. What was the shift? How can you help? A lot of times there are options and opportunities that are available for your client that they may not be aware of. One of the tips that I like to give is a lot of times people sign up for that insurance for their credit card and don't know that they have that insurance for their credit card. Ask them, get the statement. Sometimes they are able to go ahead and leverage that as well. I just like to give that little tip, because you never know. But it shows you the payment history, so you can have a conversation with them about payment history. But then you can also talk about the account health. Like, honey, boo-boo, you had a credit limit of 10,000. Let's say this account was open and not closed. So we already know the open credit card with a $10,000 limit, and you are over the limit by over $2,000. you get roughly 165 points for your utilization, right? But the more you use, and now you're using more than 100% of your available credit, you are putting yourself where you are not getting any points in this area. You are getting eat up out of house and home. So instead of getting the full 165 points, you're probably getting 10, like you're probably getting 15. Like you can have that real conversation with them, like, hey, how do we get you out of this? So the conversation that you would have with them is like, hey, here's a tip, here's a rule of thumb to get yourself out of the situation. You're going to pay the minimum payment times 2 plus $4 and be like, this is how you're going to be a beast in these credit streets. This is how you're going to get out of the situation. And we are going to focus on not just your credit cards, but the credit cards that you have that are over the limit, because we want to make sure that you're getting your max points based on your credit utilization. And understanding for them to get really the primo points, their utilization on their overall credit utilization needs to be below 15%. That is key if you're wanting to be in the 700-800 club, right? So you're having the educational conversation with them about the account health, about what they need to get done in order to make sure that they're creating a good balance and a good track record, right? Moving forward. Because we've already known what's happened in the past. We now want to give you the tools for you to be better moving forward. Okay. So this again, if the person has an older account, you're able to see all 7 years of their report with that credit dyno, which you weren't able to use with the other credit monitoring. So you can have these detailed conversations with every single credit card they have. Like, honey, let's talk about your utilization. Let's talk about what you have. Let's curate a plan, because credit repair is not just the letters. The letters is one part of it, right? I like to explain credit repair just like a weight loss plan or an exercise regimen, right? What you eat, your behaviors, how are you spending? How are you buying? When are you paying the cards off? All of that falls into play when you're also having the conversation of me as the person that's trying to repair your credit, sending off dispute letters for you. So you're having those conversations like, hey, I want you to get all your credit card statements together, and I want you to look at the closing date, and I need you to start paying that credit card 2 days before the statement closes, because that's when your utilization is going to be analyzed. So if you can pay that card down as low as you possibly can until you can pay it off, you can pay down as low as you possibly can for the next 2 days, and then you can turn around and use that card right back, right? That's a conversation that you can have to curate the experience for your client. Okay, so that is one of the features that I love about Credit Dyno that you're able to see when you click that eye. Now, to the person who is a little bit more seasoned in these credit streets, and you may already know compliance codes or Metro 2 codes or things of that nature. Thank you, Vanquish. Or you might have some information there, right? You can go into the software and you can create your own set of letters. So for instance, if you do research on late payments, there is a credit law that you can go ahead and grab, and you can curate your own late payment letter. Or if you're seasoned and you're reading the FCRA report and you're reading all of the guidelines, you can go ahead and grab what is needed, and you can create your own factual or compliance letter by simply clicking on this add a custom message. What that will do is you can curate what your letter looks like. You can save it as a template. So going forward, for instance, I have a 1099 letter that I use for all my clients. The 1099 letter is a free form letter that I've created. So I have a template for it here. So whenever I go into an account and I see it says it's a charge off, it's more than $600, I'm coming into my template, I'm clicking it, and I'm going and having that 1099 letter curated for that particular client. Now, what I want to say is that this particular, when you create that message or you print that template, that round of attack that you would generate, so in the flow it says Punch of Fury, the first round of letters is supreme boosted, that will not be printed for the letter that you're selecting in the drop down template as a freestyle letter. Okay, it will not generate for that particular account. So if it's your intent to go ahead and generate a freestyle letter for your client, but you also want that round of attack. So for instance, I still want to do my Punch of Fury Supreme Boosted, but I also want to send a 1099 letter. I would go ahead and do the regular, like I would remove this and do the regular dispute. And then once I'm finished with the regular dispute, I would come back into the dispute tab, save the filter, remove everything else, and only select that one particular account to dispute with the 1099 form. Okay, so that's kind of the difference with how you would make that happen. But you cannot go on to the dispute tab, or I'm sorry, to the attack phase until you have saved everything on this particular platform. All right, now you're able to go into the attack. So to the person that was like, hey, how do I handle bankruptcy? Here is the letter that you can send. It's a static letter. It is a free 99 letter that is generated to go to the bankruptcy court. So you can select this letter and send it out to the bankruptcy court directly, stating, hey, I need your help. I need to know, do you report this to the credit bureau? If not, like, I need to know why is it on there, right? If you want a goodwill letter, here's a goodwill letter for that particular creditor. Again, if you want it to be isolated, you have to make sure that you go back to the dispute tab, you uncheck everything, and you only select the account that you're wanting that letter for. So if you have a late payment with that one particular credit, so CarMax is saying, my account is open, but I have a late payment with them, right? And the late payment is within the last 2 years. You would come here, you would deselect all the accounts, and then you would only select CarMax, hit the save filter, and then go to the attack option, and then go ahead and select the static letter for that one particular creditor. Okay, that is what you want to leverage to do. So there are already a lot of codings in here. I'm going to tell you that the new rounds of attacks that we have, you do not need a debt validation letter because a lot of times it's already included in the verbiage. Your personal information letter goes out with every single round of attack that you do as well to the credit bureaus. But if you look on this flow, it's stating that while you're doing the Supreme Boosted, right, you're also going to send out static letters this round. So what would end up happening is you would come in here, you would do the Fist of Fury, Supreme Boosted. The first round, if you guys see, it says the first round is supposed to be in handwritten, first class, single-sided, okay? I'm gonna let y'all know I don't follow instructions. Don't judge my life. I do everything double-sided. But that's because I print and mail myself. But if you are following the plan, don't be like me, okay? I be problematic. You want to go ahead, and I still do handwritten, okay? If you have the pro, you're going to click generate creditor letters. You're going to click Supreme Boosted, and then the round of letters are going to be generated for you. Because you have money in your bucket, you would come back and hit the static letters, and the static letters would be free 99 for you, okay? You would type in confirm because they want to make sure that you are legitimately wanting this round to be ran. And then what will end up happening is when you complete all of this, you will see one that says attack. When you do, if you have the pro, it will say creditor letter right here. And then you would go back in and do the static attacks, and the static letters will be right here. So you'll be able to print all of them, or you can simply click on the mail out option and you would go ahead and select the options that you have. So if you look, this is already set to first class, okay? And then it says double-sided or single-sided. It says you're supposed to do single-sided. And right here, it says that all of the letters are in black and white. So color is a no. So you do not have to waste money on making it color. You can leave it as no. If you wanted to change this first round as from first class to certified, you can choose to do so. And it shows you what the price difference is from doing one versus the other. Okay. So I want you to be able to leverage the platform accordingly. If you have the static letters and things of that nature, if you do not have enough money in here, you can literally click cancel, add the money to your balance, and then come back in here and click mail out, and it will generate it for you. And then you'll get a sequence code that will show up for the letters that need to go out. All right. But that would be the sequence. Like you would come back in, you do the static letters, like they say, and then you would actually click LexisNexis, Innovis, Credco, like you would click all of these wonderful people. And then as long as you have money in your bucket, it will automatically generate it, and it will literally say static letters. Like how it says TAC 1, it'll say static letters. It'll say static 1 for you to be able to see. And then if you're doing it for round 2, as you can see, you're doing static letters for round 2, static letters for round 3, and round 4, you're not doing it for round 5. And you're able to go through that. Back to the other point of the other gentleman who was speaking. Hang on one second, guys. Sorry. To the other gentleman who was speaking about having been in the 3rd round and not seeing any movement or anything, you would come here to the static letters. You will go to the stall. You will select stall, and you will also select the date of when you are sending out the dispute. You can select handwritten or not. There's about 10 different handwritten font options that are available. And if you have the Pro, you can click here and just input the actual original round that you sent out for your client in real time. You can input it there. And that way it generates everything for you, one and done. All right, so we have officially gone through our first loading of making disputes. If you want to see the history, you're able to go ahead and see what round of letters, and it will show you downloaded. So if you select the mail option, this will go and it will say mail. You'll get a mail ID. If you do certified mail, you'll see the tracking number, and you'll be able to see all that information in real time. You'll also be able to see the credit report, and you can see the credit scores as they change. Any invoices you'll be able to see, and the notes are also a pro feature so that you can say, okay, I did Supreme boosted. I also sent the letters for the static. I did it as handwriting. If you want to track, if there's also a conversation you may have had that you want to keep in tow, you can keep it here as well. And again, a lovely feature that I love is that depending on the credit monitoring software you use, you can actually see it at the top. So you already know if the client is with Credit Dino or with another software from which you can see. So you know, like if it's with Credit Dino, I can do creditor letters, but if they're not with Credit Dino, I cannot do creditor letters. Okay, so we have gone through the whole system. I'm going to open the floor for Q&A. What questions do you guys have so far? Yolanda, I'm here for you, love. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Uh-oh, hold on.
No problem.
Thank you again. I just had a question about the letters for the creditors, like what is for LexisNexis and so forth. Now, if you did a freeze for each one of those, do you need to send those letters out to them?
So I want to clarify what the differences are. So let me go back to attacks. Okay, so creditor letters are not the same thing as LexisNexis and SageStream. Creditor letters are to the actual creditors. So that is letters to Wells Fargo.
Okay.
Department of Education, CarMax. That is what a creditor letter is. So I want to make sure that I'm making a clear distinction. So when the original flow that you're having when you're coming into this system and you go to the attack flow is only sending disputes to the credit bureau. Nowhere else. They're sending disputes only to the credit bureau. So if you come here and you have the free version, you would click Supreme Boosted, you can click handwritten form, and it will only generate the letters to go to Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. If you have the pro version, it will then create secondary letters, or not secondary, but other additional letters that will go to each individual creditor that is listed on your client's credit report. That's 1 and 2. The secondary bureaus, which is the static letters we are talking about, whether the account is frozen or not, the goal is to make sure that you're deleting all of the information, if possible, if unverifiable, if in error, with everyone who has it. So that includes LexisNexis and Novus, SageStream, all of them, SageStream and LexisNexis merged together. But you are able to go ahead and get the information from them, right, in real time, and you're able to dispute the accounts that they have also. So whether you're frozen or not, what the freezation, okay, that's the word I'm making up right now, okay, what the freezation does for you is make it where the client is not able to apply for certain credit lines or get certain things done. It's not, and to some effect, it's originally it was set up for where LexisNexis wasn't going to be talking to the credit bureau, but understand that they were already talking. They already had information, right? So at the end of the day, what you're trying to do is clear up the information that Lexis has that is outdated, incorrect, or in violation of the laws.
Okay.
So you want to send those static letters to them as well to ensure that you're being effective and efficient with your client every single round that it applies to.
Okay, gotcha.
Make sense? So each one of those are different. So the original round of letters that you're selecting is going to the credit bureau and the credit bureau only. Unless you check that box for the creditors, then it's going to generate letters to them. And then the static letters are going to help you to make sure that LexisNexis, aka Big Brother in the Sky, does not play with your addresses, date of birth, accounts that are on there that may not apply to you, okay? Or maybe in error of you, you're able to get that movement. And then you can then move into like other tactics such as settlements. I know of like 20 different companies that offer pay per deletion letters, right? Oh, thank you. Yeah, so you can have all of there are other methods that you can leverage when you're going through dispute. And I think a lot of times people think that there's one way. I like to explain, just like you can boil an egg different ways, right? You can have it poached. You can put it in an air fryer now. How do I know? Because I have a college student that puts his eggs in an air fryer. Let's talk about that. Why don't? Okay. But he likes his eggs air fried, okay? Because he's bougie. I don't know. But because of the fact that there's so many tactics out there that you can leverage, and you have to understand that once there is a wave, I like to explain it that way. Once you get a whole bunch of people doing the same situation, they want to go ahead and be like, oh, wait a minute. Now that tactic may not be as effective. But understand that even with the freeze, you still want to dispute with that third-party verifier.
Okay.
You don't want to stop it.
Okay. That was a good answer to my question. Thank you.
My question. Any other question? My bad, y'all. I talk too much. I'm the oldest kid. Don't worry.
No, that was good explanation because I understood it now. I know. Thank you.
Awesome. And just remember that the flow, I did drop the previous flow in the chat, guys. I want to make sure that, no, don't do that. I want to make sure that you guys have as much information. I know this is not a training on how to dispute credit. It's a training on how to use the system, but I do want to give you guys as much leverage as possible so that you guys can figure out how to navigate these waters. And come on, Mr. David. David dropped the 12 rounds as a one-click option in the chat for you guys to be able to use it, okay? Don't forget, don't sleep on the flow, okay? In the actual software, if you click on training, y'all, at the very top, if I am not here running my mouth on Monday and Wednesday, you can still get the support you need with going through and seeing, hey, what did she say this meant again? Or how does the attack flow? You can literally click the training tab, but most importantly, you can download the free way on how you would dispute the credit profile for your client. And Ms. Yolanda, I love the fact that you're starting out with a personal information letter because sometimes that is missed. A lot of times people miss the fact that you want to go ahead and make sure that you're clearing up your names. A lot of times people think that they send that letter out. I'm telling you from my own experience, I have sent out a personal information letter every month, and I still have my ex-husband's last name on my credit report. Like, Why y'all playing with me? My new husband crazy. No, I'm joking. He is though, but don't worry about it. So you want to go ahead and look at all of those things and sending out those letters when you're pulling your client's credit report and looking at the names, looking at the addresses. You want to send out those personal information letters. Now, with every round of letters that go out, a personal information letter is sent, but I also still send a personal information letter to LexisNexis, Innovis, LCI. And also bear in mind, guys, that not all of these third-party companies may have an account for your client or for yourself. So it is plausible that this information that you're looking for is not there because they don't have a profile with that particular company. Do not be alarmed. It just means that whatever systems, if they're looking for credit cards or they're looking for cars, or if they're young, they may not be in that database as of yet. So do not be alarmed, okay? Any other questions for me, guys? Thank you. Thank you, Vanquish. I totally appreciate you, honey. Any other questions? I want to make sure that everyone has time. You guys got me for like a little over 15 minutes. I know I've been talking you guys' ears off, and I do appreciate y'all rocking with me on this late night Monday. Any questions you guys have about the platform? No, no questions? Going once, on twice. Okay, so shameless plug. If you guys are not in the community, I need you guys to please get into the community. Hold on one second. Someone is messaging me in the chat. Oh. Okay. Please join the community. JM just dropped the information in the chat. I definitely, let me see if I can log into my community. Hold on, because they be giving me problems, y'all. See what I'm saying? Why is it being like this? This is being disrespectful. Oh, I know why, because I changed my password. Hold on. You can also get into the community through login with Dispute Panda. That's what I'm gonna do. You can actually get in with your Dispute Panda login, so that way you're able to see the community. I definitely tell everyone to go ahead and sign up as much as possible so you can see everything that's going on. If you have any questions, you can search it in the chat and get the information that you're needing. So if you have a question about a contract, if you have a question about bankruptcy, right, you can go ahead and basically type it out. If you have a static letter question, you can literally go into the platform directly, ask your questions, and again, you get to leverage the information with JM. You get to talk to Dominique is on here and he replies to questions as well. I do try to come on, y'all. I'm not gonna lie, like I try to come on, okay? But I do give you guys my email so you guys can text me, email me at any time. I check my emails at 12 and at 3 every day. So if you have any questions or you send me anything, I normally check my emails during the course of those days. But the goal is to make sure that you guys have everything that you need in real time. So you are able to come into the platform, get the support that you need in real time, and then go ahead, rinse and repeat in these credit streets is what the goal is. So you're able to go ahead and have a whole community that is going to be supportive and responsive to everything that you have going on. Okay. So that is my shameless plug for tonight. If you guys have any questions or comments, if you need to see anything, please let me know. I'm going to keep the room open for like another 5 minutes or so. So if you guys have questions, you can drop it in the chat. Or if you would like to come off of mute and ask, you can go ahead and Oh, hold on one second. Oh, I wanted to also tell you guys about the YouTube channel. JM dropped it in the chat. Let me go ahead and repost it here. If you guys missed any portion of tonight and you're wanting to get support, please go ahead and feel free to check us out on YouTube. Replays are there. Also, any meetings that Dominique has had before are also there for you guys to see. So check out the YouTube channel for a lot of content. There's been previous conversations. Here is the community platform. What else did I have? Dispute Panda. Have any flows? All right. So I'm going to be on here, guys. If you guys have any more questions, let me know. Oh, we have a new person in here. All right. And JM, I think that's coming to me. Hold on, let me see. And not the team. Hey, Miss Wallace, did you have any questions? You're cool. You're cool, JM. I know, like, I keep on switching it off. Does anyone, Miss Wallace, I saw that you came back. Did you have any questions, or anyone else have any questions? Miss Clay, welcome back. Please let me know in the comments if you had any questions. I know that you come, and I'm not quite sure if you have any additional questions that you're not able to resolve, so that I can make sure to support accordingly. Any questions, Miss Wallace? I saw that you just popped in.
No, I have no questions.
Okay.
Questions. Thank you very much. It has been very, very informational. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Anytime. I am here to help as much as I can, and I'm so glad that everyone was able to make it out. Since it's almost 10 o'clock my time, which means it's almost 11 o'clock y'all time in the eastern coasts. So I do appreciate you guys. Hold on one second. I'm gonna drop. Oh, some people are asking for my email privately, so I'm just gonna go ahead and send you guys my email. If you have any questions, you guys can shoot me over an email if I'm not here. And I do have a booking link as well. So when you guys shoot me an email, let me know what you need. I'll send out a booking link if it applies. But other than that, I do want to say thank you guys for showing up. Miss Yolanda, thank you for the questions, honey. You are amazing. Other than that, you guys are amazing. Thank you for all that you do. And thank you for wanting to be a beast in these credit streets. If you are interested in signing up for the pro version, I will see you not this Thursday, but next Thursday. At 7, I think it's at 6 o'clock. David, is it at 6 or is it at 7? JM, I can't remember. I think it's at 7 Eastern Standard Time, correct? I want to say it's at 7, y'all, because I think this is at 9. So if you guys want to do that, you want to go ahead and sign up. That option is there. Don't forget that we also have the community, so you can ask questions there. And if you have any questions or help, thank you for being the best part of our Dispute Panda family. And I look forward to speaking to you guys soon. Bye, guys. Where?